So today we are reading from Sri Sri Vilapa Kusumanjali, written by Srila Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, commentary by Anantadas Babaji Maharaj, the verse 49. O Kumkumangi, girl whose body shines like vermilion, saffron, when will I carefully serve you the many kinds of remnants left by Krishna that are like an elixir of the quintessence of nectar, mixed with other eatables and drinks, as you sit down, surrounded by Lalita and other girlfriends. I will repeat the verse. O Kumkumangi, girl whose body shines like vermilion, saffron, when will I carefully serve you the many kinds of remnants left by Krishna that are like an elixir of the quintessence of nectar, mixed with other eatables and drinks, as you sit down, surrounded by Lalita and other girlfriends. Explanations. In a transcendental vision, Sri Raghunatha Dasa sees Swamini's sweet Bhojana Lila, eating pastimes. Tulasi has brought Shyam's Adaramrita, lip nectar or food remnants. Even a fiber of Madana Mohana's Adaramrita is Sukriti Labhya Phela Lava, only attainable by a lot of pious merit. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is written in Antya Lila 16. Krishna's food remnants are called Phela, and anyone who gets even a fiber of it is very lucky. These remnants are not available through ordinary luck. Only a person who has gotten Krishna's full mercy gets it. The word Sukriti here means merit, which is attained by Krishna's personal mercy. A person who gets this Phela is greatly fortunate. This prasada is relishable according to one's amount of love for Krishna. And Radharani loves Krishna the most, and therefore she also relishes his prasada to the utmost. Perhaps somebody wants to share something on this? I just felt when I was reading this words that, the manjaris never want to taste the prasadam directly from Krishna. And our sweet Swamini, she is relishing the prasadam from her beloved Mohan. And afterwards, she's passing her remnants to us, so it's even more sweeter. But please help me, dear Suniti Didi, perhaps. Or Gora Sundara. Or anybody else who wants to share something. So Radharani loves Krishna the most, and therefore she also relishes his prasada to the utmost. Same madana mohana saki tanoti jiva spriham. O Saki, this madana mohana increases the yearning of my tongue. From Govinda Lilamrita. How Swamini relishes this nectar is best understood from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila chapter 16, which describes how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Srimati Radhika's mood relishes Lord Jagannatha's prasada at Jagannatha Puri, named Gopala Vallabha. Tasting these dishes that were millions of times more relishable than nectar, the Lord became astonished. He had goose pimples of ecstasy all over his body, and tears of love flowed from his eyes. He saw, yeah.
So this is the point that is important for us. For myself, I feel Lord Chaitanya is relishing prasad in the mood of Srimati Radhika. So that is the mood in which all of us who are following the mood of Rupa Raghunath, of our Gurudev Sadhguru, we want to feel how Mahaprabhu is following and feeling in the mood of Srimati Radhika. And that is how he is tasting prasad. And it's very interesting how in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Antya Lila, verse 16, it is all described. How he feels when he gets this prasad. He feels immediately, she feels immediately the nectar of Krishna's lips. So that is the way how we as devotees, we are also receiving prasad in these feelings, in this mood. But we are receiving the nectar of Srimati Radhika's prasad, who has relished the nectar of Krishna's prasad. That is the mood of a Dasi. She wants to feel her Swamini everywhere. And also the Dasis, like Raghunath Das Goswami, in his eternal form as Tulsi Manjari or Rati Manjari, is bringing remnants from Mother Yashoda's house, from Nandagaon, where Krishna is sometimes eating when Srimati Radhika cannot be there. Usually she is cooking for him in the morning with all her dasis. She is going every morning around 7 o'clock. Between 7 and 8 o'clock, she is going from Yavat to Namnagar. And during that time, she is in deep meditation, how to please and to meet her beloved Mohan again. So when Lord Chaitanya comes into that mood of Srimati Radhika, he is also having all these feelings of separation and all these feelings of meeting. So we know Lord Jagannath is the Lord of the universe. So when Radharani is feeling him like Krishna, she feels also some kind of separation. And that's why Lord Jagannath was always tried to be pulled by this Ratha Yatra cart from Lord Chaitanya to the Gambhira. Because this whole pulling of the cart or the Ratha Yatra, it's called the pulling of Krishna to Vrindavan. And Lord Chaitanya is Srimati Radhika, because she wants to be with Krishna in Vrindavan all the time. But at one point, he was going to Mathura, and he was also going to other cities, Dwaraka, and he was having this Lila to be a prince or the Lord of the universe. He was in his feelings of Aishvarya. So Mahaprabhu, when he is tasting that prasad that has come from the lips of Krishna, he becomes completely overwhelmed in all his feelings of separation and also meeting the Lord or meeting Krishna through his lips' remnants. And that's why he says, tasting these dishes that are millions of times more relishable than nectar, the Lord became astonished, and he had goose pimples of ecstasy all over his body, and love flowed from his eyes. And he thought, where has such a delicious food come from? Krishna's lip nectar is infused in it. So when Srimati Radhika is tasting the remnants of Krishna, then she is immediately feeling that togetherness. And we have heard many times from Gurudev that it's Adharamrita. It's the nectar from the lips. And that's where it all starts, with the nectar from the lips, that we are relishing by honoring prasad. Yesterday we were visiting one very beautiful castle. It's called Radha Desh, the place of Srimati Radhika. And also there the devotees try to make a feeling for the honoring of prasad. They write on little cards, you are not just eating food, we are honoring prasad. Means we want to be conscious about this meaning of remnants that have come from the lips of Radha Mohan, from Mohan to Radha, and from Radharani to us. So in these feelings, also Raghunath Das wants to serve Srimati Radhika, the remnants of her beloved. And she is saying in her complete identification as a dasi, as a small servant of Srimati Radhika, as a Manjari, I know that these remnants are the elixir of the quintessence of nectar. Why? Because Lord Chaitanya says, what is this? It is the lip nectar of Krishna infused in it. So Tulasi Manjari knows this, She feels it, that she will make her Swamini very happy with this. And so for us devotees also, when we receive prasad, this is a very, very auspicious moment. Why? Because we are receiving the Adaramrita of our Ishtadev, of our beloved Radha and Mohan, or Gauranga, or of our beloved Gurudev, or even of our beloved Vaishnavas. Devotees are always eager for prasad. We need this mercy to progress in more feelings and more sharing and exchange of love. That's why we are always eager to get prasad. We are always eager to learn how to distribute prasad. And it was so nice yesterday. We were in the temple and there was a big line before the prasadam table. And it was, I don't know, 10 preparations. And the devotee said, so you see, my dear devotees, there's a big line. And if you want that this line will quickly become smaller, then we need your help. And then they were asking for help in the serving department. And then immediately Gaura Sunna and our dear Harinam Prasad and our dear Morgan, they came and they served the prasad with love. And so this is a very important service here in our sadhaka deyas, in our world as a human, but also we see here, it is such a ecstatic service for Tulasi Manjari to serve the remnants of Krishna to her beloved Swamini. And she is very happy to do that. She is praying for it. When will I carefully, very conscious and full of love, serve you, the many kinds of remnants left by Mohan? She is very blissful because she knows that every remnant, with every bite that Swaminishta takes of them, she will feel some special Lila. She will feel a message. And Gurudev, you often call this prasad the flying kiss. The flying kiss. Because there's so much love in this meeting of Radha and Mohan through prasad. And us also being able to have these feelings and to develop these feelings. What is this prasad? And that's why in Chaitanya Charitamrita, prasad is so much explained and deeply felt by all those devotees who are bringing prasad, exchanging prasad. And that's why Mahaprabhu says, only after a long time, the living entity may feel something of this ecstasy of the meaning of prasad. Because usually we eat our food very unconscious and we are like consuming the food. But now, after these long lifetimes of trying to become who we are, the servants of divine love, then we try to relish this prasad. And just seeing how devotees relish prasad, it can be so inspiring. It is very satisfying to the heart to see how prasad is distributed and how prasad is accepted. And Srila Rupa Goswami has been stressing this exchange of love in his nectar of instruction in the Upadeshamrita. This is a way of exchanging love, to give prasad, to receive prasad, and to, cook prasad, and to take all the ingredients. And we see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mood of Radhika, is relishing this and wants to also share with the devotees this. And there are many deep stories about this prasad. And yes, maybe somebody else wants to continue on glorifying prasad, which is the subject of today. and also how to serve prasad with love and receive.
Yeah, Suniti, you give the ball
Yes.
to that point. I really felt the invitation of Swamini when the main cook was coming in the tent, and he said this line will be quickly short when there will be some servants there, and this was like the direct call of Swamini. There is some seva. So this is our ras is the seva ras. And we just came to that beautiful place, Radha Desh, how you say, and just we was invited for seva. And this was, I felt so much blessed by this call, because there is, to distribute prasad brings so much joy. You get the darshan of all devotees who are there. One by one is coming. You have some small exchange of feeling. You distribute. That's so nice. This exchange, that makes the beauty of that. And it's a really, we can taste rasa in this exchange by seva. This morning we got a beautiful word, Maha Premavati Sevika. This is a description of the Manjaris. Maha Premavati Sevika. So that means that Prem is always connected to service. Manjari's rasa is the seva ras. And in that seva ras, we will find the prema, the divine love. And the divine love is always connected to that service, to that rasa. They belong together, rasa and prema. There is how you will get prema without this rasa. How you will get rasa without getting the prema. This is the deep point. We enjoyed this morning very much. And so yesterday that was really, and this cook was so a very sweet and nice devotee. He came after cooking. He take care that everyone get prasadam. He was after, I was watching him a little bit, and he was fully in that service mood. He was so into it. Then he came by with a card and put some stuff and all of this in the time of others took the prasad, but he was always in the seva, and he had so much fun in that service. That was his rasa, and he is really, and everyone knows if you cook for 100 people or more, this is a big job and is a hard work. Now, many of us knows this because we are cooking sometimes for big groups. There is you have to go for the ingredients to buy this. You have to prepare this. You have to cook. You have to offer. You have to distribute. Then you have to clean again and again, even in between. It's a big seva. And he was constantly serving. I didn't saw him eating. Wow, this was, for me, this was the highest impression yesterday. And so we had a lot of fun when we distribute this beautiful prasadam from his hand. We could get the darshan from every single devotee who was there. Many guests came. Even one Indian family came, and the small boy was calling out loudly, "Radhe, Radhe." Then They was distributing. We also said then Radhe Radhe, and then I give a hint to my neighbor. She was working there, and she said, actually, Prabhupada never said Radhe Radhe. Oh, no, I said, no, he said Hare Krishna. When then we, again, we also say Hare Krishna. But this small boy, he was still calling out Radhe, Radhe, and the father also. It was such a nice situation, yeah. But I said, maybe in Vrindavan they also say Radhe, Radhe, but we say Hare Krishna. It was very funny. But it's also nice to have this kind of exchange, and we feel very blessed by the association of this very kind devotees. And also that this project is so nicely running. It's a beautiful place, and they take so much care, and it's growing every time we come back. It's growing and growing, and there is also a marriage, Indian marriage with 200 people, and they cook, and wow, it's amazing, really. Out of India, wow, this is a nice place who is inspiring for the Sevaras also. Thank you. Jai Shri Radhe.
Thank you so much, Suniti Didi and Gora Sundara. Thank you so much for sharing. He had goose pimples of ecstasy all over his body, and tears of love flowed from his eyes. He thought to himself, where has such a delicious food come from? Krishna's lip nectar is infused in it. Mahaprabhu relished a little of this food and then told Govinda to tie the rest in the end of his dhoti and take it along. The whole day, Mahaprabhu was deeply absorbed in Krishna's Adaramrita. When the evening came, one star-like devotee after the other came to surround the golden Gora moon, and a stream of Krishna Katha took its rise. On the Lord's indication, Govinda began to distribute the prasada that he kept in his robe to everyone present. The Lord then began to explain the glories of the prasada. The Lord said, these ingredients like cane sugar, camphor, black pepper, cardamom, cloves, ghee, spices, and licorice. In German, it's Süßholz. I had to look it up. Are all material. Everyone has tasted them before. But now, these dishes have an extraordinary taste and fragrance. Everyone should taste it and experience the difference. I just remember yesterday in the sweet Gauranga Prabhu, in the sweet creation class, we were sharing a lot about Rasagul, and it was really sweet. And here again, we can hear how important it is when the food touches the lips of nectar and the lips of Radharani, what happen, and how tasteful this prasadam is, and how sweet. And like Gauranga Prabhu said yesterday, that it's important which cheese we choose for the rasagul. That it has to be like a neutral taste, so that the sweetness can really be suck in and develop the full taste. And we continue. What to speak of the taste? Even the fragrance is maddening and makes one forget all other sweetnesses but its own. The nectar of Krishna's lips have touched it and has infused the qualities of these lips in the food. The attributes of Krishna's lips are greatly intoxicating, and their extraordinary fragrance and taste make one forget all other experiences. Just as Sri Radhika secretly relishes the nectar of Krishna's lips with her sakis, Mahaprabhu relished this nectar in secret with Sri Swarupa Damodara and Sri Ramananda Roy. O hero, listen to the nature of your lips. They agitate the body and mind, increase lusty desires, and destroy all other sentiments like joy and sorrow. They make one forget all other flavors. They control the whole world and destroy saintly qualities such as shyness, religiousness, and patience. They madden the minds of the woman, attract to the tongue, and turn all situations upside down. Can we say that this is also one of the reasons that the Manjaris don't want to taste the direct remnants from Krishna, because they don't want to forget all other flavors, and they want to stay focused on their service to Radharani and to her Mohan, and not to become like the gopis who are leaving everything at home, forgetting everything, and running to Krishna. Can we say this, or? Maybe Gauranga? You want to relish? But you made like this, so.
No, I just agree with you, your explanations, nothing else. Prasad has different forms, not only in the form of food, actually. Everything is prasad. Listening, the sweet katha of devotees is prasad. Relishing through the ears is prasad. Relishing through the eyes is prasad. Like Thakurji on the altar is not from the stones, wood or metal. Sunitiji said, it's not ordinary food. actually, is the mercy. But how much we feel that mercy depends on our pure love, not materialistic love, but pure love from the soul which is coming. And Baba gave a very nice introduction. First, he established Sukriti, and then he said, with Sukriti, with sufficient Sukritis, you can receive love, and according to the amount of love, you can relish prasad. So relishing of prasad, and Gora Sundar said, cooking of prasad. Everything must be in the same mood. If it's not in the same mood, then it doesn't work. Cook has to be in one pointed mood, and relisher has to be in one pointed mood. Then mercy is flowing. Otherwise, it's rasabas. Sorry, Radha.
Beautiful, Gauranga. And it even starts earlier. We are nowadays, every day we are in the garden. We have Govinda garden. I mean, 1 kilo of potatoes we can buy in Aldi, Lidl for €1 like this. It makes no big job. Or what is it? Zucchini, salad, easy to get. So what is the difference? Why we are working in the garden of Govindas? It's really a hard job to get a piece of salad because now we have this, what is it in English? Snails, this small, they eat everything there. So we have to fight hard for this salad. But we know this salad is especially for our Radhika. So we know that procedure of preparing prasad starts very early. And what you say, this is a process, and every step has to be in that mood. So it is a seva. And Suniti is very expert in this. She knows everything, even the seeds we are planning for next year. And this is such a nice seva. So really devotees has to think about gardening. The flowers that we are getting in the garden, I think 8-9 months we have flowers from the own garden. And it's the roses are this intense smell you will not get in the market, and this fresh flowers that are so sweet and so colorful. Actually, they are growing only for the pleasure of Radha Mohan. No? So we have a lot of opportunity for to do that seva, and really the prasad is in so many different varieties possible. And we are the manjaris who are creating that prasad with our feelings. Not that we are creating the salad. This is not possible. That the nature has to do this. But that special ingredient, what our Swamini likes so much, this is our bath. And that we put in that. And so we can imagine also the difference inside the prasad. What we eat as a prasad with different bath, we will get that bath. So this is also a point of meditation, which bath we desire. So now there is a different in Mungir Mandir. the prasad, that in which meditation it is prepared 100% to the pleasure of Radha Mohan and the devotees. But first Radha Mohan and first Radhika. And so I know here in Golokadam also, even it is ISKCON, this bhav is different to our bhav. But in the kitchen, they have a big image, Shri Radhika's kitchen. So I like very much this prasad because they are in that mood, that they are the servants of Radhika, because this is Radhika's kitchen. Who is working in Radharani's kitchen must be a servant. So there are differences in the mood, and we prefer that mood of those who are working in Radhika's kitchen. So we like that bhav. And when we see devotees who are in the Seva Ras, we are very happy. Because in that food, yesterday we got this prasadam from his hand. We can be sure that his Seva Ras is in that prasad. And I think it's Radha Gopinath, Suniti, right? It's Radha Gopinath deities in
Yes, Radha Gopinath.
And that Radha Gopinath, yeah. Beautiful deities. Also a beautiful golden Mahaprabhu is there in the front. It's 2 meters high. It's shining from far. He is there. There is a place in the front side of this castle, and they put a golden, and it is really the skin of this is really made of very thin gold. And yesterday was the sun was shining, and this golden was, you can relish from far. He was 2 meters high. It's very beautiful, right? Harinam, you saw him also, right?
Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Gurudev. I see Gurudev with Prem Darshan outside with the priests. Prem Darshan have a video here in the Zoom. Hello, Prem Darshan.
Oh, they are somewhere. They are somewhere.
Yes, Prem Darshan. You must scroll, and this is Gurudev. You go outside.
I think it's a Ratha Yatra, maybe.
Yeah, Yatra. Yes, I think also.
It looks like a Ratha Yatra. I see also they have a tray. You see on the right side, Pujariji. Here he has a tray. He has a puja tray. And then that is Lord Jagannath coming probably. What is it?
Wow. So nice. Sachi is there.
Yes, and I see also
Shama. Yeah, Shama
Adam.
also. Rita.
Oh,
Thank you. Prem Darshan. So nice. Wow.
who is it? Yeah, he comes. Yes, it's Radha Yatra in Vrindavan.
Amazing.
Look, there's Gurudev. Somebody is giving dandavats.
We are there. Oh, thank you so much.
Wow.
Now Gurudev is in front of Lord Jagannath, and they're giving him garland. Hi, Gurudev.
Amazing.
Nice.
Wow.
Thank you, Prem Darshan. So nice that we had this
Wow.
little darshan today. I want to continue with this question of yours, Ma Yoga Shakti. What is the service and what is the mood of the manjaris who are serving Srimati Radhika? Because there were many verses now that in the mood of the Gopi Bhav or Sakhi Bhav, worshipping or praising the flute. But actually, if we read on later on, it says, Baba says, Tulasi carefully feeds Swamini because she knows that she experiences Shyama Sundara's presence in the dishes. She feeds Swamini according to the pastime flavors. She makes a relish. So this is a very conscious service that Tulasi is Raghunath Das Goswami. And in her service, in his service, she is infusing not only her love and her seva, but also she is feeling Swamini in her different moods and feelings when she's taking prasad. And that is, she feeds Swamini according to the pastime flavors. She makes her relish. That seems to be also one of her expertises in her service, that she can not only feed Swamini these remnants, but also she makes her relish. So that is a very special, between Tulasi and Radhika, there is such a deep friendship and intimacy that is beyond many feelings that the Sakhis could even comprehend. And Baba writes also in the next side, he says, a page, Tulasi understands Swamini's mind completely, and she carefully feeds her accordingly. And he also gives that sweet feeling for us to relish that Srila Raghunath Das Goswami has mercifully left the remnants of his transcendental revelations on paper for the practicing devotees of today. So like Gauranga Sundara said so nicely, to remind us and to give the feelings that also what we are reading here is prasad. It's prasad of our Raghunath Das Goswami's revelations. And we are relishing and we are receiving, we are like trying to take it deeply in our hearts, this prasad. This is the prasad, like Gurudev always says, drinking through the ears. We are drinking the remnants of Raghunath Das Goswami or Tulsi Manjari, And she is so expert in her service that she can make Swamini relish according to her desires. So that's a very special ingredient here. She's not only bringing the remnants of Krishna's lips, but she is serving her according to her desires, means she is so close to Swamini's heart that she can feel one-to-one what is her desire, what is her feeling. And that is the mood of the Manjari, of the Dasi, that is not even, wiped away by the lips nectar of Krishna, because she is focused on Swamini. Right, Gaura? And you told me that from the last class this morning from Vrindavan, there was also the same point. Maybe you want to share some prasad on this. How the manjaris are fixed on Swamini's moon.
Yeah, this morning class was very special because we find out why Raghunath Das is not missing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He only is missing, and he is in the separation mood to Radhika. And then Gurudev explained it so nicely. There is his absorption is so deep that there is no more meaning from inner and outer absorption. I mean, he is in the Lila of Mahaprabhu, but he is only in separation of Radhika. How is that possible? And then we find out that he can only see Radhika in Mahaprabhu. And so that is behind that, his deep absorption, and no more inner and outer meaning, because his soul is completely that maidservant. He is in the fully identification. And so this is that one-pointedness in Raghunath Das. And we can learn this from him also. And this was very deep point. And also this Premavati. What is the next word? 2 words was there.
Prema Vivarta Vilas.
Maha Premavati Sevika.
Ah, okay.
It was in the same, thank you. Meaning this, his external absorption is also not mundane, since he is an eternal associate of Mahaprabhu. But he has now forgotten even his internal absorption. How wonderful deep is his absorption in his pure service to Shri Radha. And now that comes this.
This is the beauty, that he forgets inner object realization, sarup avesha. Only see other things, no desire. Soul, super soul, gopi, Sakhi, no. Only her one observation was there, that I am Radha's Dasi. That's it. Soul or body or nobody, a material or spiritual, nothing. I am a Radha Dasi. We forget everything. All the information and philosophy. Only fixed in my Swami and Dasi. And Mahaprabhu also, he see Radhika. So he in ecstasy to see that. Sadhak Deha, he comes in that Sarupa Avesh, Radha Dasi Avesh. And he cries, why I lose my services? What happened to me? What is pushing me out from the service? What is catching? Only Manjari and myself. And the happiness of my soul.
Jai Gurudev, we saw you. You gave this puja to Lord Jagannath. This was Ratha Yatra.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So nice.
Prema Darshan give us the mercy to see this also. He's so nice.
Beautiful. And Gurudev, we were reading today that the Manjari, she is even feeding Swamini to give her a certain relish. She has this expertise. She can feed like this. Isn't that amazing?
For Swami also, the one most dearest is Krishna, and second is Manjari. There is nothing hiding from that, both of them. That is the gift of Chaitanya. Samarpitam, he himself surrender to for Unnat Ujjwal Rasa, Sha Bhakti Sriyam.
So Gurudev, is it true that at a higher level of bhakti, when we come close then to Srimati Radhika and her service and Gurudev's happiness, then we see everywhere prasad. We can perceive prasad everywhere by like the eyes and the ears and the mouth.
Right. Everything is her prasad. Mercy. Prasad is mercy. In form of mercy is a prasad.
So the more I become advanced, I can see and feel the mercy, Gurudev, and the more I'm covered, I feel material suffering, right?
One day, Radha Kusumanjali was mentioned because I cannot think for Krishna because of influence of Maya. Maya is so much catching me that I cannot be close with Krishna. I am so much in the clutch of Maya, so I cannot be close to Krishna. One line more was there. I forget Krishna. I not relate with Krishna. I am not be with Krishna. So Maya catch. Maya catch when we are not close to Krishna. What is the truth? Because I am not be close to Krishna, so Maya catch. Is a basic. Here, Raghunath Das Goswami is right, telling what Gaura Sundara is telling, that he forget his inner and external consciousness. First, inner. He don't need to effort for anything. He forget inner everything. All other things he forget. That only she knows my Swami is Radha, I am Das. How it happens if she forget? And what about after? Also forget. So out and in become one.
Gurudev, this is the moment when the soul becomes one with the spiritual body.
Yeah.
Then there is no more meaning of absorption. It is that what you explained this morning. You are. This is meaning of you are. There is no other. It is one body and one soul. Body and soul in material meaning is different. Body is another energy, is completely different from soul. Soul has nothing to do actually with this body, but it's like in a prison. But in that moment we enter like Raghunath Das, in that body of a Manjari. Then soul and body is one. It was so deep this morning.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Whole day I am meditating.
What you said, Gurudev, there is only Manjari and Radhika.
And our service, how to make happy. Anything she has to do, she will do. And that way, she please only with Krishna. So anyhow, by hook and crook, she brings to Krishna.
No.
So both, she is serving Radha and Krishna together. For Radha,
Then name becomes Maha Premavati Sevika.
yeah. So Ranga wants to say, I feel this way. Say that.
No, Gurudev, I'm so happy to flow in your words, Gora Sundaras and Suniti's words. But now you inspired me actually to see a little introspection of myself, actually. How sadhaka is thinking, I am meditating on my Swarup. So this is the sadhaka. Still, I, this body, this mind, these senses are meditating on my Swarup. So this is the problem actually which has to be solved. Forget, yes. This is the level of sadhaka. Actually, I meditate, I serve through my Swarup. But who is who now? This is complete confusion, actually. And when we are confused, this is the reason why we are confused and why we cannot practice bhajan. Because I want to practice bhajan on my Swarup. Radha, I think it's clear. Thank you, Gurudev, for this clarification in my consciousness.
Wow, very nice words you put.
Wow.
But I remember, Gurudev, also that maybe some years ago you told to me that the Svarup, or our spiritual being, and our whole, Seva Ras body, so to say, Bhava Deha, this is naturally also shining through the more we are becoming mature. So there's always a spark of this in all of us, because we are parts of, divine love. And the more we develop it, and then it becomes natural. It's not to be understood by the mind. And you always also say that it comes naturally, it comes by feelings, and it becomes by service and a lot of love and hope and faith. So it's not artificial, right, Gurudev?
Right. We are trying to do artificially from my sadhak deha to identify my siddha deha. And from that way, we are searching how to do service.
Doesn't work like this now.
So we are trying and trying, but it's not happening without living it there with myself. It's more easy. I forgot to take money. Now Sachinandan known.
You want to go on reading a little bit, my Yoga Shakti?
Yes. I thought because we were mentioned a little bit before, you already mentioned when Tulasi is serving, so perhaps we just continue on for the translators. In my book, it's 196, and it starts with Fortunate Tulasi, because then we can dive deep in Manjari Bhav. What do you think? Yeah? So, Fortunate Tulasi makes Bhava Mai and her Sakis relish Krishna's lip nectar. The devotees will be consoled by the remembrance of these pastimes. The all-enchanting nature of Radhika's names, forms, qualities, and pastimes cause the experience of sweetness, and this takes the consciousness forward. The forms, qualities, and pastimes of the beloved deity then become the quintessence of a devotee's life.
Radhe. Yes, Gurudev, you want to say? I remember that when we were reading Vilapa Kusumanjali in verse 81, it was also the same feeling here, that the all-enchanting nature of Radhika's name, forms, and qualities and pastimes cause the experience of sweetness. And this takes the consciousness forwards. So it's the sweetness of Srimati Radhika, actually, and the love to her that takes the consciousness forwards. It's not the other way around, that I have to take my consciousness forwards. I cannot do it. But Swamini's sweetness and her qualities and her, love and her mercy and her compassion, she can take me to her heart, to her soul, to her everything, to her world. And also I remember, Gurudev, we were reading about how Baba is crystallizing the form. And that point is also very, very deep. Because when we are reading and hearing and chanting and receiving this sweetness from very loving and, more advanced devotees, then the form of that love will crystallize in the service, or let's say my spiritual existence will crystallize by the feelings that I receive from my Guru Manjari, from my Gurudev, from my all Vaishnavas. So it's not I do it, but the forms, qualities, and pastimes of the beloved deity, they become the quintessence of a devotee's life. Because through that, also, I can do more service, I can realize more, I can feel more. It's not a kind of work. It's a receiving of feelings and love, and like this, my heart is melting, and then something new can emerge, that I can have more realizations or more attachment. And that's beautiful. That's our hope, our mercy, our prasad.
Absorbed in experiencing Shyama Sundara's sweetness, Sri Lila Shuka told him, from Krishna Karnamrita 104, O Lord, you are my giver of love, the fulfiller of my desires, the bestower of devotional knowledge, and the treasure of my heart. You and no one else are my life and my fate. To this Sri Krishna said, Very well, Lila Shuka, very well. I have become very pleased with your loyalty to me. My darshana will never be in vain for you. Please pray for a boon to me. Then Lila Shuka prayed for the following boon. Also Krishna Karnamrita 105. May our words be increased by your sweetness. May you increase the stream of our thoughts, so that we will be able to remember the sweetness of your naughty adolescence. The words of the acharyas are the support for the weak devotees. They will remove their bodily consciousness and bring them a deep spiritual consciousness, in which they can relish the sweetness of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna. Tulasi says, "O Kusumanjali, I will serve you different kinds of nectarian food and drinks, while you assemble with your girlfriends to taste the nectar of Krishna's lips." Swamini's bodily luster now resembles fresh kumkuma from Kashmir, touched with some sandal paste. It's a reddish glow that comes out from within her, showing her heart's passion for Krishna. Passion is symbolized by red color. And that is why Tulasi calls her Kusumanjali here. Sri Banga Bihari Vidyalankara adds, "He Kusumanjali Shri Krishna Bhojana Pekshaya Swasya Bhojani Yatvena Yat Anga Malinyam Tat Achadanaya Kumkuma Liptam Angam Yasya." Her body turned grey because of waiting for Krishna's meal, and to conceal this greyness, she is anointed with kumkuma. In each dish, Swamini tastes the nectar of Krishna's lips. When Swamini tastes Krishna's nectarian food remnants, it is as if she touches his lips directly. Because the food has taken all their qualities. The maidservants feed Krishna Premon Madini, she who is mad with love for Krishna, Radhika, who remembers so many pastimes she had with Krishna at that time. She closes her eyes half when she is immersed in such sweet remembrance. It is as if she is drifting off somewhere else. And the kinkaris make her relish according to her feelings. Lalita and the Sakis also help her to enter in the Shyam ocean by joking with her about her divine pastimes with Krishna. And Nagara Krishna makes himself useful by becoming the subject of these emotional talks. What more can he attain than this?
The subject. That what we are speaking before also, when we spoke about Prabhupada's quote of the controller, the object, and the subject, about the absolute truth. And here again we read about that Nagara Krishna makes himself useful by becoming the subject of these emotional talks. What more can he attain than this? It's amazing, huh?
This is Manjari Bhav. You want to relish like a Dasi of God. He never do this because he want to take them and he want to relish the mood of God. He never know how much she loved me. So she cannot understand as a Krishna. So he becomes subject to realize the mood of highest mood of Radhika. So he has to be a subject. And this is the gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for us. Because my object is Radhika. So if you want to follow this way, then you can understand. Krishna is that.
What more can he attain than this? We can continue then the beauty of these words now.
And I just wanted to add how sweet we can see the different between the Manjaris, how expertly they can serve her Swamini, because they know exactly according to her mood, to her feelings, what she needs in this moment. And then it's written, yeah, also the Sakis like Lalita can serve her, but it's through making jokes. They are making jokes with her about the pastimes. So here we can see the concrete difference between Manjari service and Gopi or Saki service. And so it's very sweet. So Nagara Krishna makes himself useful by becoming the subject of these emotional talks. What more can he attain than this? No words can express how sweet, effulgent, and beautiful Srimati Radhika is. She makes even Krishna's life useful. That's why Krishna became greedy for her mood. And that's why he came in the golden form of Gora, to float in this rasa himself and to make the whole world float in it concomitantly.
So this is the beauty of Gora.
Yeah.
He is inviting the whole world for this rasa. What you explain now is rasa. Rasa is guiding to prema, and prema is guiding to rasa. They belong together. And what you read now, to float in this rasa himself and to make the whole world float in it concomitantly. Beautiful. To flow in rasa, this is the reason. Radhe.
Sri Radhika does not relish the eatables. She relishes the nectar of Krishna's lips, while her mind is absorbed in remembering her extraordinary pastimes with him. In the Kunja pastimes, she directly relishes this lip nectar. How many hundreds of loving moods doesn't she express through her eyes and her face then? Tulasi carefully feeds Swamini, Yatnat, because she knows that she experiences Shyama Sundara's presence in the dishes. She feeds Swamini according to the pastime flavors she makes her relish. Swamini is mad with love for Mohan. Is it so easy to serve her? When Lord Chaitanya, who was greedy after the ecstatic love of Sri Radha, relished this pastime in the Gambhira, he stared at Svarupa Damodara's and Ramananda Roy's faces and said, "Where have you brought me?" How many wonderful feelings he expressed through his face and his eyes. Svarupa and Rama Roy understood the Lord's mind and helped him to relish these pastimes. From Chaitanya Charitamrita. Svarupa Damodara sang songs of Vidyapati and from Gita Govinda that soothed the Lord's ears. Tulasi understands Swamini's mind completely, and she carefully feeds her accordingly.
Radhi Gurudev, I was wondering here that she is feeding her not only with the remnants of the prasad, but for my feelings now, it's like she's feeding her with every of her services. And that's is giving her this this memory and this touch of Mohan in different ways. She's giving prasad of Mohan to Swamini. You agree?
Kripa must Raghunath Das Goswami is taking only charge. But he comes through the chance.
So Raghunath has gotten the remnants of Rupa and he's leaving them for us, Gurudev.
Yeah.
So it's all the mercy prasad that comes directly from Swamini through her maidservants to us who also want to be in their service, in their feelings.
We can also see how expert these manjaris are. They understand the feelings of Swamini. So they feed her in that art, that she is relishing the flavor and the touch of Mohan's lips. How expert is this feeding? How deep they know every feeling of our Swamini. And on the other hand, we can also see how expert they know all relishing of Mohan. When they decorate our Swamini, they just made it in that way to bring that feeling of Mohan to the topmost when he see Swamini. So they know how Mohan feels through Swamini, and they know how Swamini feels through Mohan. They know both.
Yes.
They are the absolute expert in to bring both to the topmost feelings. Nobody can do that but the Manjari. Even Swamini cannot decorate herself like the Manjari. And Mohan is only able to relish that sweetness by the mercy of the Manjari. They are the real expert behind their meeting and their separation. It's so beautiful here described that Swamini actually relish his lips, his fragrance. And the Manjaris create this. And they relish this when they feel that their Seva is erfolgreich.
Successful.
Yes.
What the Seva is successful, when they relish Swamini is happy, then they relish their own rasa. And in prema.
Jaiho, and then there's nothing else to attain. Then this is the limit. This is your happiness is my happiness. And what else?
Imagine that we feed our Swamini in that kind, with that prasadam,